Hi everybody, it's Crystal, and I'm going to show you how to make this button collage bag. Now I used hot glue on the buttons, but I would definitely recommend, if you're going to be carrying it around a lot, to put just use a thread and a needle and put a couple stitches in each button. I don't carry my bag, so I don't have to worry about it, but if you're going to be carrying around heavy, I mean holding a lot of stuff, and I'd sew them on, but the hot glue does work pretty well. And I only used one skein of the yarn for this, but I did have a big pack of buttons and I only had enough to do one side. I'm definitely going to get another pack at Walmart to do the back side, but let's go ahead and get started on this. Okay, for this project I got this Caron Simply Soft Party yarn. It's got the sparklies in it. And then I got a big container of different buttons, but similar colors, the greens. Got those at Walmart. And then I got some matching green sequins. So I'm going to deck this bag all out. And then I'm going to be using a size, if I can find it. Sorry. A size H, 5mm crochet hook. Cute. Let's go ahead and get started. I started with a chain of 38, and you can do this. You can actually start in any number of chains that you want, just depending on how big you want your bag. But I just did 38, and if that looks like that's too big or too small for you, you can always make it bigger. Now what I'm going to do is double crochet in the 4th stitch from the hook, and then I'm going to do 1 double crochet in every stitch for the length of the chain. And I'll meet ya back down here. Okay, when you make it down to this end, and in your last stitch here, I'm want to go ahead and put 3 double crochets in that last stitch. So there's 1, 2, and 3. That just helps around the corner a little bit better. And then what we're going to do, we're going to start working on this side of the chain. So we're just going to take it and turn it over. And this is a good time to hide that tail too. Just hold it here, back here, and crochet it in. And here's where we put the 3. You want to make sure you go over to the next stitch, and now we're just going to start working 1 double crochet in each stitch again, all the way across until you get to the other end, just like we did before. I really like this yarn. It's really pretty. I like it a lot. Now I'm going to be obsessed with it. I'll go back to Walmart and I'll buy rolls of it in every color. That's what I do when I get obsessed with the yarn. I go there and I buy rolls of it in every color, and then I never make nothing out of it. I just look at it for a while because it's so pretty. Well, eventually I do make something out of it, but you know how you get this yarn that you like a lot, and then there's like nothing that's worthy of its use, so you save it. Okay, just 1 double in every stitch all the way back down to here. I made it back here to this end, and if you look, you'll see right here is my last stitch. And I want to put 3 double crochets in this one to match the other side. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Now what we're going to do is come right up here to this stitch. It's kind of like the chain 3 from the beginning, and slip stitch into the top of it. So That is the top of this stitch. You want to slip stitch in the top of this one. It's right here. Just like that. Okay, now I'm just going to be doing rows of double crochet. I'm going to chain 3, and then I'm just going to go around putting 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around. I'm not going to put 3 in the corner again. I'm just going to put 1 in every stitch all the way around until I get back to the beginning. So I will go around and I'll meet you right back up over here. Okay, when you make it back to the beginning, just go ahead and slip stitch into your beginning chain 3 like that, and then chain 3 again, 2, 3, and then we'll just go around doing another round of 1 double crochet in every stitch. And this is how we're going to do it. Really easy. Rows of double crochet. So I'm just going to keep going like this. I'm not sure how many rows I'm going to do, but I'll let you know in a few minutes how many total rows of double crochet that I do. Okay, I have done 8 rows of double crochet, and this is going to be the area that I reserved to put all my buttons on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working single crochets, but I'm going to work some decreases so the bag will get a little bit smaller towards the top. So what you want to do is, after you just slip stitched into your last chain 3, go ahead and chain 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 5 single crochets, and then I'm going to do a single crochet decrease. So this chain 1 is going to count as a single crochet. So I'm going to go into the next stitch, do a single crochet. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I want to do a single crochet decrease over these 2 stitches. So what I'll do is I'll go into the next stitch and drop a loop, and then I'll go into the next stitch and drop a loop, and I'll have 3 loops. I'm going to yarn over and go through all 3. That turned these 2 stitches into 1. And now I want to do 1 double crochet in each of the next 1 single crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. There's 2, 3, 4, and here's 5. And then I'm going to do my single crochet decrease. I'm going to go into the next stitch, drop a loop, and then the next one after that, drop a loop, yarn over, and go through all 3 stitches. Okay, and then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Single crochet decrease again. I'm going to go into the, hitting my camera. I'm going to go into the next stitch, drop a loop, then I'm going to go into the next stitch again, drop a loop, yarn over, and go through all 3 loops. So there's our decrease. Okay, 1 single crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll decrease again. Go into the next stitch, drop a loop, the next stitch, drop a loop, yarn over, and go through all 3. 1 single crochet in each of the next 5, and we're just going to repeat this pattern all the way back to the beginning. Okay, I made it back around here, and here's where I started. I did a decrease, and then I had 2 single crochets, and then I only have 2 stitches left. So if I repeat the pattern, I won't be able to do any more decreases. So no matter what your pattern is, on your last 2 stitches, do the decrease. No matter what. Even if you just did a decrease before, or even if your pattern doesn't equal out for it to be at that spot, do a decrease anyways. And now you're going to need some type of a stitch marker. And I'm just going to use a piece of yarn, and I'm going to stick it right here, since this is our last stitch. Because now we're going to be working in a continual round, and this stitch marker is going to let us know where we end and where we begin. So go ahead and just jump right over to that chain 1 that we did in the beginning, and single crochet, and then just single crochet across. 1 single crochet in every stitch, all the way around, back to your stitch marker. We'll do this row, and then we'll look and see if we think that we need to decrease any more or not. So it's kind of what I do. I just make these as I go, so I just take it row by row. So I'm going to go around with this row of 1 single crochet in every stitch until I get back at my stitch marker, and then we'll look at it and see what we're going to do next. I made it back around to my stitch marker, and I'm going to pull it out and move it up, and then I'm going to start again. I'm actually going to do another decrease row, the same as we did before. I'm just going to jump right over here to the next stitch and single crochet. I'm going to do 5 single crochets in a row. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to do a single crochet decrease. Just like that. And then I'm going to do 5 single crochets in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the decrease over the next 2 stitches. Go into the next stitch, drop a loop, and the next one, drop a loop, go through all 3. So I'm repeating the row we did before. We're doing 5 single crochets in a row, and then a single crochet decrease. And you want to repeat this until you get back around, and then I'll meet you up right back over there. Back around, and again, you want to make sure your last 2 stitches, so I got 2 stitches before my stitch marker, and I'm going to go ahead and make them a decrease, even though it didn't turn out that would be a decrease, but I'm going to go ahead and do that, like that. And now I'm going to move my stitch marker up, and now I'm going to go around again with 1 row, or 1 single crochet in every stitch. So just like this until you get back to your stitch marker, and I will meet you back at the stitch marker in just a second. Okay, I made it back to my stitch marker again, and I'm going to move it up. And now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do any more decrease rows. I think I like the way it's turning out right now. So I'm just going to start doing rows or rounds of 1 single crochet in every stitch till I make the bag a bit taller. Probably not really tall, but so just continue doing rows of 1 single crochet in every stitch, and I will too, and I'll let you know exactly how many rows of it I did. But you can always do as many as you want, however tall you want your bag. You don't have to follow me, but if you want to do it like me, I'll let you know here in a second how many rows I do. Just go around doing 1 single crochet in every stitch, and when you get to your stitch marker, just move it up and continue around again. Okay, I went ahead and did 3 more rows after that for a total of, counting from all the decreases, 7 rows of the single crochet. That's counting the decreases. And when you make it back to your stitch marker this time, just to even this round off and close it, when you get to the stitch with the stitch marker, go ahead and slip stitch in that stitch. And then I always slip stitch into the next stitch too, just to help even the round. And you can take your stitch marker out and cut your yarn. And like I said, if you want your bag to be bigger than this, you just make it as big as you want. It's fine. It's completely up to you. Okay, then you want to hide your tail here. I got my hot glue gun heating up, because this is going to be the fun part where we get to put buttons and stuff on. I think it's going to be fun. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hide my tail real quick. Okay, I think that'll probably be good. Okay. Oh, my scissors are so dull. Okay, and like I said, I reserved this, all this double crochet area is what I'm going to cover in buttons. And then I'll do something different for the single, maybe for the single crochet area. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet, but okay, I got all these buttons here. I'm just going to dump some of them out. And I probably will put a flap right here with a button. So if you have a special button that you want to put for the button flap, you can save it, set it aside and save it. But otherwise, probably doesn't really matter. They're all about the same. You probably think I'm a dork going through all these, trying to pick a special one. Okay. Okay, I'll just pick it later. Okay, but what we want to do is, I'm going to be hot gluing these buttons on. Now, if you prefer to sew them, you can sew them. You can use yarn or a needle and thread. But what I got is a baby wet wipe, and I'm going to stick it underneath here, inside here. And I'm doing that because I don't want the hot glue to leak through to the other side and glue it together. So I'm going to make sure baby wipe covers this whole area that I'm going to be hot gluing. Now I'll be careful try not to leak it through, but just in case, I'll have that wet baby wipe in there, or a wet paper towel, or whatever you have. I just have a baby here, so I just grabbed one of his wipes, just to stop it from going through to the other side. There we go. Now all I'm going to do is, not in any particular order, I'm going to start gluing the buttons on. And if you want to, I'm going to do the front and back, and if you want to overlap them, you can. It's completely up to you, but I just start by putting a little glue, because hot glue works really good with yarn. I'm doing it up to the double crochet line. So not in any particular order, just however, like that. And this is how I'm going to do it, the whole front and back and sides. And if you want to double them over, you can. It's up to you. So I'm just going to get busy doing this while you guys choose yours. And when I get done with the buttons, see that baby wipes keeping the glue on this side. I'll think I might put some sequins at the top too. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to glue buttons, not in any pattern at all. I might overlap them, I might not, around the front and the back. And I'm using this doing it all down here on all these rows of double crochet. this is what I've gotten done so far. I just glued some sequins on here too. Now, if you're gonna, I overlap some. I'm gonna have to get more buttons to do the back, but now if you're gonna be carrying your bag around a lot, I would suggest you maybe take a needle and thread and just put a couple stitches in each button and in each sequence. That's what I would do. Well, maybe not even so much the sequence. I think it's gonna hold, but the buttons. I mean, they're holding good, but if you're gonna be carrying it and whipping it around, you might want to just put a couple little stitches in each one just to hold them. I know it's a lot of work, but it would probably be better that way. But mine is just going to hang on my wall in my office like all my bags do. I don't carry them, so I don't worry. I'm not going to worry too much about them coming off. Okay, anyways, now you can do any kind of handle that you want, and you can decorate yours anyway too. You don't have to use sequins. You can sequence this all up. It's really up to you. I found this button that was really pretty. I'll probably put it right here as a latch, but for now, for the handles, I'm just gonna do a braided handle. So I got some strings of yarn. I don't know, 20 or 30 strands, I'm not sure, just something like that. And I want to put a knot in one end of it. And leave some little bit of overhang. Now all I'm going to do is a simple braid the handle. Let me find something to stick this down with. You want to make sure it's so easier for me to. I'm just going to tape it to my table for now. That way it doesn't move. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and move this to the side now. And all I'm going to do is just braid it. Simple braid it. That's going to be my handle. I thought since the buttons, I just wanted something fun for the handle. Nothing too formal. And I'm just going to braid it. But if you prefer something different than this, it's up to you. And you can do yours as thick or as thin as you want. And as long and as short as you want. It's your bag. Okay, well I'm just going to braid this for a while till I get my handle as long as I want. So I got my handle as long as I wanted. I'm just going to go ahead and tie a knot at this end too. Trying to get all my pieces pulling through. Try that again. This one slipped away. There we go. Nice and tight. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and untape this. And I want to cut these two ends with the strands about the same length. I want to leave them a little long. But, and I got to do it with my dull scissors. It's embarrassing. I buy new scissors, it's just the kids get them and they dull them out. There. That'll be good enough. Okay. And then I'm going to just sew it on right here with my yarn needle. And leave the little crunchies hanging. So, get a piece of yarn here. You probably get sick of waiting on me, don't you? I'm not really prepared, am I? Okay. I got such a messy desk. Everything's strung everywhere, but okay, I'm just going to put it right on the side. I'm going to put the knot right about there, and now I'm just going to sew it on with my yarn needle. Real easy. And I'm going to do this to both sides. And like I said, if you're going to be carrying it, you make sure you get it sewed on pretty tight. You don't want it coming undone. Okay, that's good enough for me. So I'm going to go ahead and hide the tail, and then I'm going to sew on this side. Got my handles on. One more thing I'm going to do is just put a tiny strap for right there and this button. So I'm just going to start with the slip knot on my hook. If you don't want to make a strap, you don't have to. It's up to you. But I'm going to do a chain of 6. And I'm going to single crochet in the second stitch from the hook. And then 1 single crochet in every stitch across. Just like that. Chain 1 and turn. Go across again. 1 single crochet in every stitch across. I'm going to do this for a few rows. Okay, I did 6 rows. Now I'm going to leave a buttonhole. I just chain 1 and turn. Now I'm going to chain 3, and then I'm going to single crochet into the last stitch. Like that. And then I'm going to chain 1 and turn. And now I'm going to single crochet across, including every stitch of the chain. And that'll be a buttonhole. Chain 1 and turn. And another row of single crochet, and then I think I'm going to tie off. I'm just going to take a piece of yarn and my yarn needle, and I'm going to sew it back here on the center with my yarn needle, and it's going to sew it on. Just kind of get it as centered as you can. I'm just kind of guessing at it, but and then just sew it on. And remember, you definitely don't even have to put a strap. It's completely up to you. You do something else. It's whatever. And this is probably about all I'm going to do to this bag after I sew this one last button on. Other than next time I go to Walmart, I'll have to get more buttons and put them back on the other side. But for now, this is going to end my tutorial. And I hope that you're able to follow along okay. And I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. Please don't forget to check out all my other tutorials. I have a whole bunch of bags and purses and other stuff too. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel also. And you could come and check me out on Facebook, where we always have bag competitions, and you know, you're welcome to join them. And you can always share all your work there. Everybody would really like to see it. I'll share it on my main page, and it's a really good time over there. And you just throw your button on here, and that's it. And until next time, have a nice night.